So hi guys, this is Shadow Girl Sherry, and wow, I can't even believe that this live is actually happening right now. I've been at this for a little bit. I've been having technical difficulties, whatever. So again, I can't even believe that this live is happening. Hi guys, this is Shadow Girl Sherry. I know that has joined the live yet, but before anybody even joins, I want to say thank you for taking the time out to join this live because, wow, right now I'm just a little bit frustrated. But guys, I totally felt called to make this video. Um, but guys, I totally felt called to make this video. I'm saying I felt called to make this video tonight. But again, I've been trying to get this going for a little bit now. I wish I could have gotten this video started actually earlier in the daytime hours. I'm looking at my phone percentage right now, and 69 is for whatever reason, a lot of times lately when I have been going live like that, whatever, I've been seeing the number 69 pop up. Um, and, I'm also thinking about the number, placing a 3 in front of that right now. So right there, you would have the number 369. But guys, that's not what this video is about. I did make another video that was about the number 369, but that is not what this video is going to be about tonight. The picture that you're looking at right now, I'm hoping that you can make out what the picture says right now, what you're looking at right now for this live. This picture is taken from my actual phone. It's a little bit of a layout that I made. And guys, if you have watched any of my other videos, then you already know that I have a way in laying out different items, whatever. And in some of my videos, I have a way in writing things out in a different kind of a way. I'll go ahead and say, I have a way in writing things out in a different kind of a way. I'll go ahead and say right now that when it comes to writing, I'd like to think that I can draw. I'd like to think that I can draw all that. But I will say when it comes to just writing words out, I've always found it to be kind of relaxing. And I'll go ahead right now and say that, guys, whenever I want to thank you, because whenever you tune into any of my videos, you're kind of giving me a break because as a young girl, and even growing up into like being a teenager, and becoming an adult and, moving along, whatever, I've always had a way in, should I call it like a diary, or maybe it would sound more grown up if I said maybe a journal. Um, I've always had a love for writing, and whenever you choose to watch my videos, um, you're allowing me to. It's kind of like whenever you watch my videos, guys, I got to hurry up with this, but whenever you watch my videos, it's kind of like you're giving me a break from having to write in a diary, because the only thing I have to do is just come on here and talk. And it's kind of like an open diary. And guys, my channel, let me go ahead and say this. My channel, Sunset Songs, is all about my personal journey with the law of attraction. If you're watching this video, you may already know what the law of attraction is. The law of attraction is the idea that like attracts like through your positive or negative thinking. It is said that through the law of attraction, you would be attracting the such back into your life. If you are thinking positive, doing positive things, hanging out with positive people, then it's said through the law of attraction that you would be attracting the such the same, and that would be the positive. On the other hand, which I'm really not trying to do, if you are thinking negative, speaking negative, hanging out with negative people, the Debbie Downers, the Nancy negative type people, then you would be attracting the negative back into your life. And guys, I don't know why you want to do that. But anyhow, guys, again, I have, in this picture, I have things written out in a way, whatever. But again, I've told you what my channel Sunset Songs is all about. It's about my personal journey with the law of attraction. If you're watching this, again, you probably already know what the law of attraction is. But guys, I did say my personal journey with the law of attraction. And when I say a journey, I have to tell you that I'm not saying that I know everything when it comes to manifestation and all that. It's a bit of a journey for me where I'm trying to take you along on that journey, and we just kind of learn things together. I have to be honest. It's not like I'm some big guru or, you know what I mean? Like I know everything. It's a journey. With that being said, I want you to look at the picture that I have in front of you right now. Basically, this video that I felt called to make this video earlier today. I wish that I could have gotten the video started at 5 o'clock. Guys, you see the words, the picture that you are looking at right now. Guys, today is September the 8th, obviously. If you've taken a look at your calendar, if you have, I don't know, just been walking around in the course of the day, and you've been awake and everything like that, you already know that today is September the 8th, 2025. But I don't know if not everybody is aware that today is the feast day for, that today is the feast day for an Orisha by the name of Oshun. Now, guys, again, I have to say to you again, this is my personal journey, and I'm really going to emphasize that right now, because when it comes to certain things, I don't know everything. It's a journey. And I hope that by making this video, no one is going to be offended by, I'll kind of say, my lack of knowledge. But again, it's my personal journey, where on that journey with the law of attraction, I just go through every day. And if something just kind of, I don't know, tickles my fancy, I don't know, tickles, I don't know, just, it sparks like a thought in me. I don't know, just, it sparks like a thought in me, then I might choose to talk about it. And again, I can't say that I know everything about Oshun. And again, I hope that no one is going to be offended by anything that I say tonight, because again, I don't know everything about her. I'm just kind of learning. But I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. The last video that I made, that I put up, and I'm not going to say the last live that I went up, because it wasn't the last live. The last video that I put up, it was basically a short. I got to put it up here on TikTok, and I also got to put it up to upload it on YouTube as a short, because it was, I think, like a minute long, maybe 2 minutes long, a minute long, a minute and a half long, something like that. It wasn't a long video. But it was just to let everyone know that September the 4th was actually Beyonce's birthday. I don't think I need to really say who Beyonce is. Everybody knows who Beyonce's birthday. I don't think I need to really say who Beyonce is. Everybody knows who. If you're not under a rock, you know who Beyonce is. She is the wife of Jay-Z. Everybody, that her birthday was September the 4th. Obviously, my channel is called Sunset Songs. So I talk about my personal journey with the law of attraction, where I also include music. Obviously, I call my channel Sunset Songs. I include music a lot in my videos and in the law of attraction, the whole idea, because I truly believe that music has a way in making you feel some type of way. Obviously, I'm trying to feel good. So I truly believe that music has a way in changing the way you feel. You could be tired, and then if you listen, you feel, and you know that. But anyhow, obviously, Beyonce is a singer, very well-known singer. So for her birthday, I put up a little bit of a video where I was going through some magazines. I found an Essence magazine, where I think it may have been maybe I don't remember what year it was, what the edition was, but it was Essence magazine. And it, obviously she was on the cover of the magazine. So put that up, the magazine up or whatever, and let you know that it was her birthday. But with that being said, I was thinking about Beyonce and all that. And I really think that lately Beyonce has been, I really think that lately Beyonce has been the person that's kind of brought the idea of the Orisha, the goddess, the African goddess, the deity, whatever you, of the Orisha, the goddess, the African goddess, the deity, whatever you know what I mean. She has kind of put her into a spotlight. I'll say that if no one's getting this Orisha until Beyonce, she came out with an album. The album was, what was it? Lemonade. Well, Beyonce, she came out with an album. The album was, what was it? Lemonade. And on the album Lemonade, she had a song. Was it called Hold? Oh, I've got some notes here. Quick notes here, guys, that I made before I made the video. Let's see, the song. What's it called? Hold Up. Hold Up. Okay. And in this particular video, and the song Hold Up was on the album Lemonade. And the song Hold Up was on the album Lemonade. And I do believe that Lemonade came out in the year 2016. In the particular song, the video of Hold Up, Beyonce she's stuck in a and basically she was embodying the African goddess Oshun. And guys, when I think about that name Oshun, I think about ocean. Ocean. But again, don't look at it as a disrespect or anything like that. I know I looked up a little bit of information about her, and it's I don't know if it, obviously you're going to think about oceans, but I don't think that's how her name, how she got her name. It was actually a river, and I don't remember the name. Whatever, please don't look at it, in a negative way or whatever. Guys, I really just felt called to make this video today, obviously because today is her feast day. But 4 days ago was Beyonce's birthday. Beyonce, I really do believe that she was the one that really kind of put a spotlight on this African goddess and made her more well known to just the average person when she came up with, and made her more well known to just the average person when she came up with, obviously she had the song from the album Lemonade, which was Hold Up, where she's wearing a beautiful yellow gown where she's wearing a beautiful yellow gown where, if you know anything about Oshun, when I think about, she's a goddess that deals with water. And if you look at the piece of paper that I have written up, Oshun is the African goddess of love and sweet waters. So when I think about that, I think about the color blue. But Oshun is also another, like a bird that Oshun really likes is a peacock. Peacock feathers, things like that. You'd have to look up a little bit more information, but she likes peacocks. So obviously the color blue is present in a peacock. Peacocks are very beautiful birds. You get what I'm saying. But guys, I really felt called to make this video tonight, or earlier today, obviously, or I'll say at 5 o'clock really, because I also read a little bit of information up on Oshun. The number that corresponds with Oshun is the number 5. So, and when I say that, I also read that when it comes to the number 5, being that it corresponds with her, when you leave offerings to her, you might want to leave like 5 like different items. You may want to leave like, okay, 5 different fruits. You get what I'm saying? The number 5. is associated in it with her, and it corresponds with her. But guys, I really felt called to make this video tonight. And again, I hope no one is going to be offended. I want to say hello to everybody. Let me look at some of the names. Hey girl. Yes, I'm live. I'm live. Guys, I want to apologize how I might sound kind of nervous. This is maybe my 10th time going live, and I was becoming more and more comfortable with going live. The first time I went live, the second time I went live, maybe the third time I went live, I was nervous, but I started to ease up on that whole nervous deal. For the last couple of days, there's been a reason why I haven't been able to go live. I'm not going to go into all these. There's been a reason why I haven't been able to go live. I'm not going to go into all that because that's wasting time, whatever. But I really just felt called to make this video tonight, whatever. But I may seem like I'm a little bit off, but it's because, guys, I had so many technical difficulties trying to get this going. And again, I wanted to get the whole video started at 5 o'clock, obviously, because the number that corresponds with Oshun is the number 5. Guys, now I'm going to go ahead and tell you the reason why really I felt called to make this video. Guys, now I called myself Shadow Girl Sherry. That's the name that I go under, Shadow Girl Sherry. I've explained in numerous other videos and in my lives, whatever, why I go by Shadow Girl Sherry. I don't want that to take over or whatever, but I go by Shadow Girl Sherry. But I also want to say that obviously, I mean, I hope most of you guys know that I am African American. Okay. And for that reason, I kind of felt called to talk about this particular deity. Obviously, because today is her feast day, and I felt called to make this video because I am African American. Now, guys, know that I'm not picking this. Obviously, I'm making the video because I'm African American, all that different thing. But at the same time, the first time I went live, the first person, being that I love music and all that, the channel's called Sunset Songs, I picked Madonna as, the first song that I picked, and the song that I picked was her song. Oh, what was it? It wasn't Open Your Heart. I think that may have been the second song. Oh gosh, guys, I can't even remember what the song was, but the song was by Madonna. So I don't like somebody because of, color or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. Please don't think that. But today is the feast day for Oshun, and I am African American. So I felt very much called to make this video. Now I'm just going to go into talking about video. Now I'm just going to go into talking about it. The whole reason as to why I wanted to talk about this. I am all over the place tonight. Again, it's because of the fact that I had so many technical difficulties trying to get that going, and I'm still a little bit frustrated right now. I can't even believe that I got this going. I want to thank you guys, anybody who's watching right now, because it's day. And with my channel, when I go live and when I just make videos and things, it kind of helps me unwind from the day. Again, sunset songs. I thank you guys for watching, and I just want to calm down a little bit. And yeah, I know it's going to happen. But anyhow, guys, again, I think I've said the reason as to why I wanted to make this video tonight. Oshun's feast day is today. And guys, I've got to go ahead and say this right now. When it comes to being an African American female, African American woman, I wish I'd got some notes right here. Beyonce, she's the one I really think she's the one that really put Oshun in the spotlight when it comes to just the average person. Okay. But I think a lot of times when you think of goddesses or deities or whatever that have to deal with sensuality, when you think about drawing love into your life, that kind of idea, usually the goddess that you think of, or even when it comes to I'll say glamour magic, I think that the goddess or deity that most people think of obviously would be Aphrodite. Now, I don't have any notes. Again, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to apologize. I don't have any notes in front of me. I don't know. Aphrodite and Venus are basically the same deity. One is for Greek mythology. The other is Roman. But I don't have any notes made out, anything to tell you the difference. But basically, Aphrodite and Venus, Aphrodite and Venus, they're basically the same. It's a deity that deals with love, drawing love into your life, beauty, glamour magic, that type of thing. But I've got to say this right now. When it comes to glamour magic, when it comes to Aphrodite, Venus, anybody can work with Venus or Aphrodite. It's not an idea of, okay, if you're African American, you can't work with the energy or call in the energy or summon the energy of, or work with, you get what I'm saying, work with the energy of Aphrodite, or Venus. And it said that the day that corresponds with Venus, Aphrodite, is Friday. I'll go ahead and say that. But I also looked up some information on Oshun. Now, in some places, here on, when I looked it up, AI, all that, I saw where the day that, now today, obviously, is her feast day, September the 8th. But if you just wanted to work with Oshun, like during the week, I mean, you could do it any day, but if a powerful day, I read a powerful day of the week, if you just wanted to pick a day of the week, and again, you can work with her anytime, but if you really wanted to work with that energy, I read that the day of the week that you could work with Venus or Aphrodite would be Friday. But at the same time, I also read that when it comes to Oshun, a good day of the, I saw two different days. I saw where Friday's a good day to work with Oshun, and I saw where I read up that Saturday is the day to work with Oshun. But again, keep in mind that today, September 8th, is the feast day for Oshun. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about her. But guys, being that I am African American, and just for anybody, I think everybody knows that, when it comes to glamour magic, working, love magic, all that type of different thing, if you're working with, we'll say witchcraft. And then when I'm going to say this too, when it comes to witchcraft, before you were going to think, okay, well, I'm being evil, or if you're not into witchcraft or whatever, just look at witchcraft as in, I'm going to say it like this: which way do you want to go? Do you want to think positive or do you want to think negative? That's what I'm going to say. Which way do you want to go? Look at that. When you just think about that, when you think about witchcraft, when you come on my channel, Sunset Songs, if you want to, just to keep it safe, I'll say that. I'm not going to say that I don't dibble and dabble in herbs and all that kind of different thing, but I want everybody to feel comfortable here. So, and I don't want to get into religion and all that, because again, that's drawing the video out too long, and that's another video. Because again, I'm drawing the video out too long, and that's another video. Because again, I'm getting a little bit off course, and I am a Gemini, so I apologize for that. Geminis are known to be talkative or whatever. But when it comes to Oshun, or I'll say Aphrodite and Venus energy, I think we all know, if you're watching this video, it said that anybody can work with Aphrodite or Venus energy. They are the well-known deities, goddesses, when it comes to love and glamour magic. Okay, but I'm gonna just say this right now. Black women, I'm just gonna say, And it's not to make anybody feel uncomfortable or anything like that. Everybody's welcome to join this live. If you are here on the live, I'm going to say thank you, thank you, thank you, right off. But I just want to find a way to say it and make sure that everybody's comfortable, really. I kind of feel like Aphrodite and Venus are the more celebrated goddesses, deities when it comes to like love. You're calling in love or romance or that kind of thing. When you're working with glamour magic. Okay, I just got to be I got to be real about it. Okay, and I'll say this. I kind of feel like Beyonce kind of put, again, Oshun out there for just everybody. She put her on, on the spotlight. If I'm on, on the spotlight, if I'm probably using the wrong words. It's been a long day. She just kind of made her more well known to just everybody. Just put her out for everybody, if you know what I mean. I mean, Beyonce is a well known singer, actress, all that different type of thing. But so she I think she just put her out there more, put like more of a spotlight on her for just anybody to know about. Because let me look here. Where's my notes here? I looked up some information on Oshun. The way I understand, it's not like you're supposed to just work with Oshun or call on her, summon her, whatever you want to call it, just for the fun of it. The way I understand that, you have to have a respect when it comes to this particular Orisha or African goddess. You have to be, this is why I was a little bit worried. I'm wondering, I'm hoping no one is going to be offended by this. This is why I was a little bit worried. I'm wondering, I'm hoping no one is going to be offended by this, but because she is an African goddess that's about beauty, love, fertility, wealth, power. I really felt called to make this video. And I apologize to anybody if you know more about, but I felt called to make this video today. But I felt called to make this video today. But the way I understand, you're not supposed to you have to come at this Orisha or this Orisha, this African goddess, with more of a respect for what she really stands for. And I'm hoping that I am going to pronounce the tradition that you have to be a part of if you work with her. Okay. Because I don't know everything about it. I just have to be real. This is my personal journey with the law of attraction, and it deals with the law of attraction, witchcraft, anything like that. It deals with the law of attraction, witchcraft, anything like that. Hey, it's a discussion. I want to be able to talk about it. So even if I want to talk about something that deals with like religion, I'm going to be talking about a little bit of everything here on my channel, and I'm going to include music with it. So I just wanted to say that. But I'm going to try to pronounce it. I looked it up. Yoruba. I looked it up. I tried to look at the way it was, spelled out and everything like that. And the way I am seeing it is Yoruba. Okay. That's the African tradition that she celebrated, or you get what I'm saying? Again, it's not a disrespect or anything, but that she celebrated, or you get what I'm saying? Again, it's not a disrespect or anything, but guys, is anybody following me? I mean, does anybody have any thoughts about what I've this African, way, if I can say it that way? Does anybody know? Again, I'm hoping I'm not offended, but again, because she is an African goddess or Orisha, and being that I'm African American, I wanted to talk about her a little bit because obviously, again, I really do believe, and I know that when it comes to glamour magic, when it comes to love, luxury, all those type of things, the well-known goddess is Venus, Aphrodite, and they're the same, but one is for Roman mythology, one is for the Greek mythology. I just don't have any notes. Obviously, on another time, it'll probably be a Friday, something like that. I'll make a video about them as well. You know what I mean? Basically, they're the same. So it's no disrespect or anything, or trying to make anybody feel uncomfortable, or anything. I'm inviting anybody into the conversation here. I just hope that everybody is going to be respectful. But again, this is a live chat. And, obviously people are going to say what they want to say, but I'm hoping and I'm asking that you be respectful here, because again, my channel is about, trying to be positive. I understand it is a world of duality. And you have to keep that in mind as well. But here on my channel, I'm trying to keep my, spirits up, and I'm trying to lift your spirits as well. That's what my channel is all about. So I'm trying to keep things positive here. So, but again, I did feel called to make this video because I definitely know that I know that she's very, very, she's honored and all that. But again, Beyonce's birthday was on September the 4th. And I really do believe that Beyonce was, being that she is so popular in just, today, she's very, very relevant today. She had her 44th birthday on September the 4th. And I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I know that Beyonce, had the album Lemonade, and she, she's the one that really brought this Orisha, introduced her, to just the everyday people, you know what I mean? The everyday people, you know what I mean? So I thought about Oshun, and I thought about, the album and everything, Lemonade, and I obviously thought about, Beyonce. Thought about, the album and everything, Lemonade, and I obviously thought about, Beyonce. And I wanted to be able to talk about, the fact that, whatever you want to call it, she celebrates, maybe she channels a little bit, whatever you want to call it. She celebrates, maybe she channels a little bit. I can't go all into it, but she works with Oshun. Okay. So being that she works with Oshun, okay. So being that she works with Oshun, and it was her birthday, I wanted to talk a little bit about this African goddess. And obviously, again, I'm African American. Again, when it comes to glamour magic, when it comes to love, trying to manifest love into your life, when it comes to glamour magic, when it comes to love, trying to manifest love into your life, setting up an altar and things for trying to bring that energy into your life. The well-known, the go-to girls, the go-to goddess to bring that energy into your life. The well-known, the go-to girls, the go-to goddesses, deity. We have Aphrodite and we have Venus. Okay, a Friday. I'm not going to say this Friday, but it's not like I don't work the idea or the energy of Venus and all that, because again, anybody can work with that energy. If you're trying to draw in, love, romance, you're trying to work something on some guy, or you know what I mean. But Oshun, it's a total different idea. Now, I tried to pronounce the tradition that she is a part of, Yoruba. I've probably pronounced it wrong. And again, I apologize. But again, I felt called to make this video. And I'm going to say this. I don't know how many African American females are here in the chat. Guys, I'm just going to say what's up to everybody. Thank you for joining the chat. Please don't feel uncomfortable. I hope I'm not, obviously if you're watching the video, you've joined into the chat, you don't feel uncomfortable. Maybe I'm the one that feels a little bit uncomfortable because I wanted to talk about this and I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. So just know that you're welcome here. But I just felt called to make this video, being an African American female, because I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm not saying that, obviously I go by the name Shadow Girl Sherry. Whenever you watch any of my videos, you have no idea what I look like. Because I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry. I don't appear in my videos. You just see items that I set up. Every time I make a video, it may look like a little bit of an altar. And if you go back to my very first time going live, you will, I'm not going to go all into it, but the title of that particular video was Lights, Camera, Action. And in that particular video, I have a pretty broad imagination. And I know that when it comes to manifestation and all that, I've come to find out that it's a wonderful thing to have a vivid imagination, to be able to use your imagination. It's a wonderful thing. And I have always been the type, when I was a young, teenage girl, I was one of those ones where, I fantasized a lot. I imagined what my life was going to be like and all that different type of thing. But at that point, I had no idea I had no clue. I had no idea. I had never heard of anything called the law of attraction. I was always drawn to things when it comes to witchy things. When I think about the movies that, I liked a lot, I still like a lot. And we are getting ready to go into spooky season, Halloween season. We came out of what I just found out, something called Summerween. All right. Summerween. Okay. Summerween. All right. Summerween. Okay. Something new that I heard of, but, going and Summerween, I started hearing seeing the videos pop up here on TikTok about Summerween. Summerween, I started hearing seeing the videos pop up here on TikTok about Summerween. I went to different stores, recently, during the summer, the end of summer, August, that kind of time, that late July, early August. And I saw where there were, it's lit up. Oh, okay. I've got a lot to learn when it comes to, going live. I have a lot to learn because I keep seeing different messages come up about certain things, and I'm not familiar with some of the things that I see pop up, like in the top part of the lives or whatever. But I got to keep rolling. I'm learning more and more every day. Every time I get on live or whatever. But guys, if you look at the first time I went live, it was titled Lights, Camera, Action. And basically, knew nothing about the law of attraction. Never heard of anything like that. Didn't know anything about The Secret. That's the first book that I ever knew nothing about the law of attraction. Never heard of anything like that. Didn't know anything about The Secret. That's the first book that I ever read when I got into spirituality, guys. But I didn't know anything about that stuff. Guys. But I didn't know anything about that stuff. The whole idea, that stuff, it wasn't popular at that point. And I don't even want to go into age or anything like that. I will go ahead and say the same age as Beyonce. Now, you heard me say it here in this video. But again, I don't want to, the same age as Beyonce. Now, you heard me say it here in this video. But again, I don't want to, have, maybe younger people or older people feel like they can't listen to my channel, and join and all that. So that I'm not going to focus on that. But guys, I've come to find out that when it comes to the law of attraction or not, you're always manifesting. So when I was a young teenage girl and things or not, you're always manifesting. So when I was a young teenage girl and things like that, and early 20s and things like that, obviously, I guess, I was always manifesting through my thoughts, the people I was I was always manifesting through my thoughts, the people I was hanging out with, all that stuff. But I've come to find out that your imagination, the things that you think constantly, it has a lot to do. Vision boards is it's a big thing. What you're always looking at, whether you know it or not. Vision boards is it's a big thing. What you're always looking at, whether you know it or not. But you could fine tune that into a vision board. I think you get what you get what I'm saying. Fine tune that into a vision board. I think you get what you get what I'm saying. But on from that, guys, if you look at the first time I went live, it's titled Lights, Camera, Action. Video, I basically found a way in a little bit of an altar, if you will. I have a video. I basically found a way in a little bit of an altar, if you will. I have a camera or lights, camera, action. Basically, I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry. Oh, I don't want to go into it, but basically, I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry. Oh, I don't want to go into it, but basically, I, it's basically a community kind of altar. I'm not going to go into all that. You would have to go back to camera action for you to understand what I'm saying. Basically, I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry, but every time it's camera action for you to understand what I'm saying. Basically, I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry, but every time you choose to watch my videos, like, click, share, subscribe, you're getting me one step closer to feeling more comfortable. You're getting me one step closer to feeling more comfortable about coming out and showing you exactly what I look like. So I kind of, I just wanted to share that here on this video. I went live was during the Lionsgate's portal, said to be a time that where you're supposed to come out, be bold, be your authentic self. I've been thinking a while that I wanted to come out and show up as myself, let you all know exactly what I look like and all that during the Lionsgate's portal. Maybe I was, I guess, a little bit of a cowardly lion, but I said, okay, I'm not going to come out and show you exactly what I look like. It's a safety thing, because back in the day, it was a thing where, you didn't post all your pictures of yourself, your children, your newborn baby. That was unheard of years ago. I mean, that was unheard of. So for me, it's a comfort thing. I don't feel comfortable enough to just come on, live or make videos where everybody all over the world knows who I am, what my name is, and all that. I'm just not there yet. But by making my channel and, building a bit of a spiritual community, all that, and guys, if you are tuned into this live, if this has shown up on your For You page, I'm going to go ahead and say that possibly in real life, maybe you and I could really be friends. Obviously, because we have things, obviously, that we have in common. That's why you are, man, I wish I got a lot to learn when it comes to going live. I wonder if let me see if I can do it. Let me see if I can do this. Because I want to know what's going on here. I'm seeing things, and let me stop before I mess up the live. I want to know. I got to learn what's going on with all this, because I'm seeing stuff pop up, and I don't even know what's going on. Am I giving away age? First off, guys, I'm going to say about that. Beyonce is very popular. Okay, she's 44, so I'll just say that. But guys, I don't want to get off subject, but if you're watching this, it may be that in real life, you and I could possibly be friends in real life. But I'll say this, anytime you choose to like, click, share, subscribe, all that different stuff, you're making me feel more comfortable. And hopefully soon I'll decide to show up and you'll know exactly what Shadow Girl Sherry looks like. But I think I just explained to you as to why I don't come out. It's not and show myself. It's not anything about I feel bad. I have a low self-esteem or whatever from being, a black woman or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. Now, does it mean that I have shadow work to do? I have shadow work to do. Yes, I have some shadow work that I have to do. I really do. Actually have come to find out, um, I had started making videos, had started my channel up and everything like that. And, I'd already started making my videos, and the time that I ticked, well, YouTube, I'll say, a channel, whatever, was during COVID-19. We all had to go inside of our homes, and we had to figure out what we were going to do with ourselves. I feel like a lot of people probably did. I got a little lonely. I had my family, and things like that, but I wanted to be able to reach out. Okay. I wanted to be able to reach out, and I found out, I put it together. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to come up, I'm going to come up with a channel, and I came up with a name and all that. Name my channel Sunset Songs. Obviously, it's about the law of attraction. I got into spirituality. I think a lot of people got into spirituality, maybe a little bit of witchcraft, all those different things. We all had to decide what we were going to do with ourselves, or what you believe in. What do you believe in at that point? It's like, wow, what's going on with the world? This illness has taken over. I mean, we had to go inside our homes. You couldn't come out. You get what I'm saying? So you had to figure out what you were going to do. Um, I went, you know, I, you know, got into the law of attraction. I've always had a, a fondness for witchy things, I'll say. A, a fondness for witchy things, I'll say. I think I already started saying it. Movies like The Craft, um, The Craft, Magic, all those movies. Um, oh, Magic, all those movies. Um, oh, Charmed, all that. You get what I'm saying? I've always, wow. Yeah, there's some different things that's popping up right now, and I have got to learn. I've got to learn about all this stuff. I've got a lot to learn, guys, when it comes to going live. But I do have a lot to learn, but I didn't want to keep that from joining you guys in for, you know, I didn't want to hold myself up and keep myself away from you all. So I'm sorry. I apologize if I'm all over the place, if maybe I'm not conducting the lives in the way that I'm supposed to do it, whatever. I do apologize, but I'm working on getting better at that. But again, man, I'm kind of getting away from what I was talking about, and I do apologize. I've been trying to get this live going for this particular live, and it's like, wow, why am I having such a hard time with this one? It kind of made me think maybe it was a sign that I shouldn't talk about this, because somebody was going to get offended because I don't know everything about Oshun. I didn't want to step on anybody's toes and say that I know things, because again, this is my personal journey. I'm learning, and whatever something pops up and it's like, man, I wonder about that a little bit, or I want to know more about that, I'm going to deep dive into it a little bit, and I'm going to bring it, and we're going to talk about it. And I shouldn't even say it's all about being positive. It is about being positive, but it's a world of duality. So when I see things that, hey, I might bring it up on my channel. But guys, I've gotten a little bit off of things or whatever, but I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry. I know that I have to do shadow work, because when I started uploading videos, making my videos and all that, I had, in the very beginning, I came up with the name for my channel and all that, but I knew I wanted it to be about the law of attraction. I had that down. I wanted to include music in it. Guys, one particular day, I just come out and I called myself Shadow Girl. And then I got comfortable and I said, okay, Shadow Girl Sherry, you'll know my name. You just won't know Shadow Girl. And then I got comfortable and I said, okay, Shadow Girl Sherry, you'll know my name. You just won't know what I look like. But my first name is obviously is Sherry. But before I said Sherry, I said Shadow Girl. Then I said Shadow Girl Sherry. So I come to find out what all that meant. It really does mean, now I'm talking about shadows, calling myself Shadow Girl Sherry, putting Shadow Girl before my own first name. Shadow Girl Sherry. Sherry, my real name that my mom gave me, comes after Shadow Girl. Shadow Girl comes first. Okay. I made a video recently about a particular person. Nobody has come up with her name yet. It was a little bit of I'll say a pop quiz. Kids are back in school and everything. So maybe we'll have an adult like school going on, and I'll give you guys a little bit of a pop quiz. I gave you some different words. Sprinkle was a word. Another idea was the number 7. Nobody has figured out who I was talking about on any, nobody's left in any of my videos. I said that if you could figure out who I was talking about, who this particular person was, to leave it in the comments on the last couple of lives I've come up with. I'm going to see how long it's going to take for somebody to leave it on one of my videos, on one of my lives, on one of my videos on my channel over on YouTube, which is Sunset Songs. On YouTube, I go under Sunset Songs. Here on TikTok, I go under Sherry's Shadow Closet. So, guys, I hope you will choose to like, click, share, subscribe, all that different stuff. And, let's be friends. Life, that's possibly what we could be. Keeping this message. I hope that you guys can hear me well. Because it seems like TikTok has sent me a little bit of a message, and I keep having these technical difficulties even when I join on the live. Like, it'll say, okay, it's got to resume or whatever, or, TikTok will let me know. But anyhow, guys, I'm going to say this now. My channel is called Sunset Songs. Now, to Oshun and the tradition that, that she is a part of, the Yoruba. Guys, please don't be offended. But the way I understand, you can't just go to Oshun, like summon and work with her energy and not be a part of that tradition. Okay. But I also thought it came to my thoughts. Okay. My channel is called Sunset Songs. Now, with that being said, for every episode, I'll call it an episode that I come up with for my channel, Sunset Songs, which I'll call it an episode. For every episode, I'll call each video an episode. Guys, I try to think of what I call it a sunset song. Okay, what is a sunset song? A sunset song is basically, it is a song that I've picked. I basically ask Spirit, okay, put a song in my heart, put a song in my mind, put a song in my mind. And basically, I'm asking Spirit, or, whatever. I'm trying to think of a song that corresponds or about for that particular video that I'm going to be going live on, or I've about for that particular video that I'm going to be going live on, or I've, made and then I uploaded. I try to think of a song that's tailored around whatever the subject matter is for that particular video or episode. So, guys, I didn't fail to do that for this episode as well. But the only thing about it, and the tradition that goes with Oshun and all that, I looked it up. It came to my thought, would it be appropriate for you to, when I think about love and I think about romance and I think about, that kind of thing, I think about a altar that I've set up that's, romantic in nature, anything like that. Guys, I think about music. Okay. Again, I think about music all the time, really. I like to hum, all that different stuff, but that's beside the point. But basically I like to hum, all that different stuff, but that's beside the point. But basically, something came to me before I went live for this particular episode or whatever. something came to my thought and made me think, would it be appropriate for me to have a sunset song? And I actually looked it up. And if you wanted to work with the energy, or well, I'll say the energy of Oshun, you can't just play like any song that you could hear, as you're driving. You can't just play like any song that you could hear, as you're driving to work. Some romantic song that you have playing for a candlelit dinner, or, a song that's playing while you're, doing your thing with your mate. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just play any song. Okay. And when I think about it, like a romantic night, or, any kind of thing like that, love songs come into my thoughts. Okay. Back in the day, it may have been called a slow jam, or, um, I'm thinking about different radio stations. Um, and, there used to be a time at a particular time of night, usually about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, different radio stations would have, it would remind you of like could I say a couple skate? That was a thing that was popular years ago. A couple skate at the skating rink. Okay. Or if you think about, if you went somewhere, you went to like a dance, or let's say like a club or something. There would become a particular time where you could, there would be like a time where you could, there would be like a time where all the couples, and then, then there would be the people that, that didn't have anybody, and they would have to go, they'd be standing against the walls or whatever. Or if you were like in middle school, a school dance, there would be the class clown or whatever that would wrap their arm around the back of their body, and it would look like they had someone dancing with them, but it was really their own. They were basically giving themselves like a really big bear hug, and their arms were like come around their back. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But basically, there comes a point where at a dance or whatever, or where it would be like a time where the couples, like a slow song would play. It would be a love song, and then it would be for the lovers to, to be out on the dance floor. Or it would be a love song, and then it would be for the lovers to, to be out on the dance floor. Or, at the skating rink, it would be a couple skate. Or if you think about back in the day, you couldn't just, listen to just any skate. Or if you think about back in the day, you couldn't just, listen to just any song when you wanted to listen to it. You would have to call a radio station, and the DJ somebody, or you had somebody on your thought, okay, well, I called and requested this song. Obviously we don't live somebody, or you had somebody on your thought, okay, well, I called and requested this song. Obviously we don't live in those times anymore. That's some old stuff there. But guys, basically I hope you get what I'm trying to say. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Um, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. You can't really do that when it comes to working with Oshun. It's more of a respect. There is, and I looked it up. There are specific kind of like prayers or like chants. And I looked it up. There are specific kind of like prayers or like chants like chanting, or particular songs, like it's like a chant. It's a prayer. If there's a way to call upon her. There's a way to ask, for her. You get what I'm saying with her? It's it she she's about love and light, and that she's about love and light, and that type of thing. The brightness, you see, the paper here is yellow. Okay, bright colors, happiness, sunshine, all that different stuff. But at the same time, even with Beyonce, in when it came to Lemonade and stuff, it was also about empowerment. And, the idea of infidelity, betrayal, all that stuff is in there. And, she's not about that kind of stuff. Oshun is not about that. And I've got a lot more studying to do, when it comes to her. The way I understand, she is a goddess that deals with, it says right here, sweet waters. You're thinking about water, that kind of thing. But she could also withdraw. So I hope that I'm getting this right. And I still have a lot of studying when it comes to the tradition, and when it comes to the tradition, and what, because that would be possibly seen as a disrespect. Okay, seen as a disrespect. That's not how she works. But before I started making this video, I can't help that my channel is called Sunset Songs, and a song came to my mind. And now, I don't know if anybody here is a couple of songs actually, and I'm going to give you these songs. And if you want to come back later, I hope you will come back when I upload this video, the replay, or you can see it here, hopefully on TikTok, if I keep it under 60 minutes, under 60, longer than 60 minutes, I won't be able to upload it here on TikTok, but I will put it up on YouTube. So you go over to Sunset Songs. That's my channel on YouTube. I hope that you will choose to do that. And they're getting ready to warn me right now. The songs I'm going to give you right now, when I thought about Oshun, I'll have to come back and make this video longer because I didn't hardly touch anything on what I wanted to talk about with her. I have so much more that I was feeling that I wanted to say, but I'm going to give you some songs. Okay. Some songs that came to my mind when I thought about Oshun and, thinking about romantic love and all that. Okay. The songs that came to my heart, there was a group, I think it was maybe the late 70s, called the Jones Girls. They had a song called Who Do I Run To? Who can I run to? Who can I run to? Okay. Now, this was a black female group called the Jones Girls. And I'll have to explain why I picked that song. Who can I run to? Obviously, when you want love, if you go and you listen to the song, it's in the words of the songs, in the words of the song, who can I run to when I need love? So I'm thinking about calling in an energy, which you can't do that with her, but maybe with Aphrodite or something like that. But this is a black female group. Okay. And that's the song that came to my heart. That's the song that came to my heart, came to my mind. The song is called Who Can I Run To by the Jones Girls. Okay, a more updated version of that song came about with a group called Escape. They did an updated version, a cover of that song, Who Can I Run To? Another song that played in my heart, came to my mind when I thought about this song, when I thought about this episode and romantic love and calling that energy in. And it wouldn't have to be black love, because it's not about that. Hey, I've dated outside of my race. That's a whole other subject. Whatever, guys. I'll just let you know that as well. I don't have a problem with that. The interracial dating and all that. So, hey, just put it out there. Guys, the other song that I thought about, I couldn't help it. When I think about calling in a romantic love, and just what I thought about with this episode, there was a singer, Mickey Howard. She had a song called Come Share My Love. And guys, to me, it is a beautiful song. I believe that they did a documentary on Mickey Howard. And I believe I forget what channel it was on, what network it was on. But it was the song is Come Share My Love by Mickey Howard. I actually found out that Mickey Howard has a daughter. And recently I found a version where she, got on stage, kind of honoring her mom. And she sang Come Share My Love. I forget what her name is. I'll have to say that on another episode. But the song is by Mickey Howard. Her daughter did a little version of it. I don't think it was, put on a, you know, recorded, officially recorded. But Mickey Howard did a song called Come Share My Love. And there is a point in that song where she says, obviously we're talking about a deity, a goddess, Orisha, that deals with water. The goddess of sweet waters. And, we all think about different things when we think about sweet waters. Come on now, sweet waters. Okay. There's a peak for every mountain, and there's a peak for every mountain. There's a shore for every sea. It's hard to understand where you meant for me. Guys, I think this is going to end in like 3 seconds. Thank you, guys. This is Shadow Girl Sherry signing out. Thank you so much. Nope. Guys, I'm sorry. I apologize. It looks like I have 55, 54, 53, 52 more seconds to talk. Okay, guys, and then it's going to shut off. But, okay, so Mickey Howard, there's a peak for every mountain. The song is called Come Share My Love. Please go and listen to it, guys. It's a beautiful song. At least I think so. And it made me think about this, Orisha. But I can't use that to call her in. But when I think about this subject, and I can't help that this is a song that comes to me. Okay, Come Share My Love by Mickey Howard. There is a verse, a part of it. There's a peak for every mountain, a shore for every sea. It's hard to understand where you meant for me. There's an answer to a question, but there's no guarantee. Guys, that's all I can think of. Guys, this is about to shut off. This is Shadow Girl Sherry. Thank